It's one of the most beautiful cities in Canada, steeped in tradition and majesty. And for 30 consecutive years on the Canada Day weekend, Victoria has been host to some of the finest racing in the land. Hi everybody, I'm Peter Young. Welcome to Western Speedway near Victoria, British Columbia. Bright sunshine, great day, and some outstanding racing this weekend. Joining us, the longtime voice of Cascar, Ron St. Clair. The tradition here amazes me at this track.
Well, it's 50 years old. It's the oldest paved track in the country, and you look great with those sunglasses. I can see them. I said, just wait, let me comb my hair.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Hey, we talked about the sun. The sun, believe it or not, plays a factor late in the day. It's an evening race, and as the sun sets, the drivers are looking right into it.
Yeah, coming down turn 3, into turn 3, the drivers are coming right into the sun, and it comes down below the mountains there into the trees, and it's going to be really tough on the drivers. And of course, they'll be going racing probably maybe 50, 60, 70 laps into the race. That'll play a factor. But great qualifying effort here with that number 3 machine, Gary Smith out of Victoria. Hasn't raced in a year, and this is where he grew up, 3.5 years old, came out here in a go-kart. And now behind the wheel of a Cascar late model, he's on the pole for the Thrifty Foods 150.
And the 34 car is also doing well out here.
Yeah, I thought he was going to snag his first ever career pole in Cascar, but Darren Turner just missed it by a couple of hundredths of a second, but he'll start outside pole, of course, and then you've got Wade Lee on that second row, along with the points leader, Darrell Har, rather, as well. So, you know, it's going to be a tough front four, and then after that, it's anyone's race as well. There's some pretty good competitors back in the field.
Fans would like to learn a little bit more about this track, and we've picked a great guy to give you a tour of the track. Our pole sitter, in fact, is going to give us one lap around Western Speedway.
It's a real flat racetrack, and both corners are a little bit different here. And like I say, I've got a lot of laps around this racetrack. I ain't telling all my secrets yet.
Take us on a tour of this. We've filmed earlier out of the front of your car, and take us on a tour starting at the start-finish line.
Oh, the start-finish line, you want to be nice and high, getting into turn 1 there, and make a real hard turn, get her at the apex there. You want to be straight up coming off the corner, right at the curb. Come up, there's a bit of a hill coming up out of turn 2, real hard into turn 3, a lot harder than turn 1, and a lot of braking down there, and get that thing, same thing, get it turned in the center of the corner, point it the other direction as fast as possible, and they're down for this checkered flag.
And these drivers will try to duplicate 150 of similar laps to that right after this.
Welcome back to Western Speedway here in Victoria for the Cascar West Super Series race. And there's promoter Bill Bullet Smith, Warper Promoter of the Year, and Tony Spiteri from Thrifty's Foods. And how about this, Peter? This is his unit, a Canadian vintage old-timer. This one actually is one of about 20 cars that run on a tour out here.
And you'll see this car in the parade lap here at Western Motor Speedway. This is the oldest paved track in Canada, I believe.
Yeah,
Ron.
50, I think it is 50. And Matt Sundstrom, also one of the promoters here. Here's a look at the starting grid then for the Cascar Thrifty's Food 150.
Gary Smith, the pole sitter in the number 3 car. He's the local boy. Darren Turner from Kelowna in number 34.
17.369 the pole time. Darrell Haar, Wade Lee occupying row number 2. Chevrolet and a Ford.
And then in row 3, Don Sales in the Skoal Bandit car number 33, and Ron Larson, the winner in Saskatoon.
All Quinnell row right there. Off to row 4, James Van Domsler in the Pontiac, and Charlie Curtin out of Saskatoon driving the Casinos of Winnipeg sponsored Chevrolet.
In row 5, Gil Gillette in the 81 car, and number 2, Carl Haar in the Goodwrench car.
Yeah, way back for Carl. A little bit of surprise there in qualifying. James McFarland in the Ford, Kim Richard in the Chevrolet out of Calgary occupying row 6.
In row 7, Dale Bizik in the number 76 car, Todd Nickel in the Pennzoil car.
Nice Chevrolet for Todd this year, switching over from a Pontiac body. A couple of sportsman drivers out of Sun Valley Motor Speedway, Shane Charlton in the Ford, and Terry Goyman in the Pontiac, car number 83. So 9 Chevs, 4 Fords, 1 Intrepid, and 2 Pontiacs ready to roll here on this 4/10-mile track. As we heard Gary Smith say earlier, a little bit flat. There's a great-looking car there, the Skoal Chevrolet, and it is this Western Skoal shootout event here.
And Gary Smith will take the green flag and turns it into turn 1.
So 150 laps around here, turning lap times in the mid-17-second range. Shouldn't take too long. Problem there with Todd Nichols as he gets out of shape off of turn number 2, gathers it back up, though, in the field flies through turn 3 and off of 4.
And the local boy will lead the first lap as you look inside the Goodwrench car of Carl Haar.
As I mentioned, a little bit off in qualifying, 12th fastest in the field in qualifying here today, but he's got a good run, always set up for the long run, so watch for him to make his way up through the pack. Right behind Charlie Curtin.
Charlie Curtin, in the gold beer car.
Yeah, he's got Great West Brewing, Motorfest Manitoba, Casinos of Winnipeg all on that car, so he has great sponsorship.
Problems on the front straightaway.
That's the Lordco Taurus of Gil Gillette. He sits. Oh, look at that. Darrell Haar right up the rear end. That's affectionately known as a doink in stock car terminology. Right up the rear of the 3 of Gary Smith there.
I think the 81 car might have been up high in the line there, and maybe it caught his attention. He didn't realize the guy in front of him was slowing down.
Yeah, he had to. The caution flag was out, and here comes the pace vehicle out to gather up the field off the back straightaway.
Let's see if there's damage on the front of that 71 car. It looks like the hood is a little bit rearranged.
Certainly. Well, we'll see if he comes down pit road here. They have a pit road at Western Speedway for the first time. I think it's the first time ever, Peter. They put this in on the request of Cascar, and it's only about 8 to 10 stalls, but they're probably not going to have to utilize them all anyway. There's the work going on the 71 car.
Now he's got to try to beat the pace car out onto the track.
Pace car just coming around turns 3 and 4 right now. They're holding him up here on pit road. The crowd not liking it. Listen to this. Oh, my. He should have been out ahead of the pace car. He's going to go a lap down here. Cascar holding him. Could be there was an unofficial rule about a speed limit. Didn't appear, though, that he was speeding down pit road.
Well, just for safety reasons, they might have held him there because the pace car was getting close. Now they're letting him out. He goes all the way from second place when he came in to a lap down.
Terry Goyman, number 83 of the Kelowna, the 3 Farms Rider Roofing, McGrath Auto, Silverload Transport, Pontiac, also on pit road there, as Gary Smith brings him back up to speed as we return to green flag racing.
It's Smith and Turner, 1 and 2, heading down the back straightaway.
Well, this is lap number 3, and you know what that means. Time to be quiet in honor of Dale Earnhardt.
And coincidentally, it's a 3 car that leads the race.
Well, he has led many, many times around this speedway, referring, of course, to Gary Smith of the Victoria, the Tom Harris Chev Olds Cadillac, Craftsman Collision, Log House Pub sponsored Monte Carlo. Good look at that car. Boy, he was a great runner in the Northwest Tour, all up and down the West Coast here, and also in Winston West, where he won Rookie of the Year.
And Turner is all over the back of that car.
Darren Turner having a terrific run this year out of Kelowna in the Western Star Trucks Power 104 Auto Trim Chevrolet. Looks underneath the 3 car for some passing room. Gary Smith, though, taking the wide groove down the straightaway, tightens it up in the corner. Boy, they're turning on a dime through the apex right there. And there's Donnie Sales in the Skoal Link Chevrolet, and back on board with the GM Goodwrench team of Carl Haar. Looks like he might pick up a spot there as he worked to the inside. I think
There's your battle for 4th place right there. The Skoal Bandit 33 car and Larson in 12.
A couple of Quinnell drivers, as mentioned, they came off the same row together as we continue to run under green. Charlie Curtin in car number 93 of the Saskatoon, former Western Racing League champion and Cascar Rookie of the Year.
That's the fight for 6th place right there, and Kim Richard's trying to join the battle.
Yeah, he has good sponsorship as well. Birchwood Village Green Golf Course, Canadian Property Investments, and Hooters on that car. Always a good contender out of Calgary.
There's your leader, Gary Smith, out of Victoria.
Looks like he has some real tough competition here. Darren Turner takes the wide groove coming off of turn number 4. See if he can make it stick on the top side of the racetrack. Down to the line, Turner and Smith in a good door-to-door battle through 1 and 2.
And there he goes by on the outside.
That's a great pass for Darren Turner. Nice and clean. Look, he drifts a little bit up in turn number 4, but he went in pretty deep.
So a new race leader, Darren Turner. Gary Smith second, Don Sales in third, Ron Larson, Carl Haar, and Charlie Curtin. We're back at Victoria right after this. Cascar Racing comes to Manitoba for the first time ever. Join the fun at Motorfest Manitoba, a 4-day racing extravaganza, August 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 2001. It's the boys of Cascar West on a 1-mile temporary road course through Red River Exhibition Park. Motorfest Manitoba, this August long weekend. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.
Experience the casinos of Winnipeg. Relive the opulent splendor of the past at McPhillip Street Station. Reveal the mystery of a lost civilization at Club Regent. Both feature the latest in casino entertainment, making the casinos of Winnipeg an ideal destination. New restaurants deliver a unique dining experience in one of the most exotically themed restaurant settings anywhere. From history to mystery, the casinos of Winnipeg will make your visit unforgettable.
Millions of the world's children suffer from blindness and infection. With biotechnology, we're looking for ways to provide better nutrition and help relieve that suffering in the future.
My crop could soon contain more vitamins and nutrients.
Biotechnology is helping to develop ways to combat childhood diseases and may offer the hope of more nutritious harvests. From medicine to agriculture, biotechnology is working toward the solutions that could improve our lives and our world.
A big thanks to all the fans who've tuned into Sportsnet Unplugged so far. But if you haven't caught an episode yet, now's your chance because we have a great one coming up for you. Athletes as role models. Is it part of the job or are we expecting too much? Mike Pinball Clemens will be here to give us his opinion. Plus, we'll have comments from other high-profile athletes. It's all this week on Sportsnet Unplugged.
Tonight at 9.
We're still green at Western Speedway in the Thrifty 150.
Great race so far. 16 Cascar late models took the green flag here today. 8 Chevrolets, 4 Fords, 1 Intrepid, and 3 Pontiacs. And there's the Chevrolet, Western Star Truck Chevrolet of Darren Turner, the race leader right now. And looks like he's coming up on school lap number 33. That'll be $250 cash, a bonus lap here in this Western School shootout. Great battle here, Peter, for 4th.
Great battle there. Gary Smith in the 3 car, followed by the 33. There's Wade Lee in the 21 car out of Calgary. Charlie Curtin in the Casino Winnipeg car. There's that battle we talked about. That is the fight for 2nd place with Gary Smith, the local driver who was the pole sitter, trying to track down Darren Turner in that 34 car.
Well, getting a look at a lot of cars here as Terry Goyman goes by. James Van Domsler in the 14. And we had one look there at the 76, the Intrepid of Dale Bizaket of Kelowna, the Husky Tool sponsored Intrepid. Nice looking car. Again, the Chevrolet, though. This is a Tim Wilkie prepared car. Gary Smith picking up the ride for the weekend. Nice to see them out. We might see him a couple of times on the Cascar West Tour this year in car number 3.
And the 33 of Don Sales, the Skoal Bandit car, right behind car number 3. And watch out for the 12 car of Ron Larson. That car, of course, won in Saskatoon. I think that's what you're going to say.
That's
and
exactly.
He's trying to move up on the pack.
Good to see Terry Goyman, though, the 83 car, as he moves to the high side of the racetrack. And that's the way to do it here. The slow cars will stay to the high side. Let the bottom cars use the quick way around the speedway. Down low here on this 4/10 mile track. A little different than some tracks, obviously, but it's the quickest way around down on the bottom side. There's that great battle going on for second, third, and fourth position right now. Darren Turner's still the race leader.
And Ron Larson in the 12 car doing everything he can to get inside the 33 of Don Sales.
Off at turn number 4, again, Larson tucks the nose of the Chevrolet on the inside, but couldn't find any room around the Skoal Chevy of Donnie Sales. I think they're just trying to follow Gary Smith around here. He knows the way around this track.
Probably could learn a lot by doing just that.
There's a great run going here. We have a watch on him. He's still in the mid-17-second range, so tire wear not a factor here in the early stages of the Thrifty Foods 150. Ronnie Larson, though, he has a great setup in car number 12. Very quick lap last time by. I think he might have the fastest lap of the race so far. And he was the quickest in practice throughout sessions all day today, Peter. 17:092. And there's Kim Richard. That's a great-looking Pontiac. I mentioned earlier a Chevrolet, but that is a Pontiac Grand Prix. Beautifully prepared race car out of Calgary.
And Kim Richard moves up into 7th place in the number 20 car.
Well, he's a contender. He's going to be a top 5 all season long in Cascar West, and don't be a bit surprised when we wrap it all up in September in Vernon that he's right up there in contention, maybe even for the Cascar West Championship.
Trying to track down the number 21 car of Wade Lee right now.
Good look at Charlie Crow. Oh, we got problems here in the front straightaway. James McFarlane and the 81 car, the Lordco Taurus of Gil Gillette, the Skoal car, Donnie Sales, swerving out of harm's way. We're under caution here, lap 36.
That was right in front of that lead pack. Actually, Ron Larson got all caught up in it. And Don Sales, they were in that fight for second place, you might remember, so that'll juggle things at the top of the order.
Well, the fans here, as we get a look at the BC Ford Dealers Association Taurus of Wade Lee coming down pit road, they've had some handling problems. Wouldn't surprise me. They're just going to take a round out or put a round in there. Looks like 4. Wow, problems there. The handling for Wade Lee. They go to work on the right side of the car, and he's down the way. No new tires or anything, so they're happy with the tires, just not the handling.
And he manages to stay on the lead lap, almost past the pace car coming into the pit, however.
Here's Gil Gillette and the Lordco Taurus. He may have to come in. And the rest of the field working under caution into this very narrow turn 3 area. There's the running order here for the Thrifty Foods 150 at Canada's oldest paved racetrack, Western Speedway.
One-stop service. Auto repair you can trust.
Cascar Racing comes to Manitoba for the first time ever. Join the fun at Motorfest Manitoba, a 4-day racing extravaganza, August 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 2001. It's the boys of Cascar West on a 1-mile temporary road course through Red River Exhibition Park. Motorfest Manitoba, this August long weekend. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Peter Young and Ron St. Clair back at Western Speedway in Victoria, and we're back to green flag racing.
This after a second caution flag involving the 81 of Gillette and the 7 of James McFarlane, who picked up Coldwell Banker as a sponsor here. And there's the race leader, of course, Darren Turner, car number 34 of Kelowna. Back to the 7 car, though, of McFarlane for a moment. Great to see him pick up a trophy dash victory here. Cascar did something unusual for this race, Peter. A couple of trophy dashes, which we don't normally do. And the 64 Charlton also won one of those races. So they had some bragging rights for a while anyway.
You look at the leader, Darren Turner, in the 34. The biggest benefactor of that little pileup that sent us to that caution was Carl Haar out of Edmonton in the number 2 Goodwrench car. He's moved all the way up to 4th place.
Yeah, that's because the 33 Donnie Sales, avoiding the crash, spun out, so he had to go to the back. So right now it's Turner, Smith, Larson, and the 2. Carl Haar, he came into the program running second in points behind his son Darrell, who went a lap down earlier. Recall, we've just been informed by Cascar's officials. Big Joe McCullough, tech director, has given him his lap back, so he is in fact okay right now in car number 71.
So that yellow car with the modified front hood is on the lead lap again.
I think they call that this week, and it's unsponsored. They give a look at Ronnie Larson and the race leader Darren Turner. I think they've called it the atomic banana or something like the nuclear banana or something. It's appealing anyway.
It is very appealing.
We're just trying to be one of the bunch. There's Charlie Curtin, Shane Charlton, Todd Nichols. Contact there. The 71 car again getting into it. And Gary Smith of the Victoria leading Ronnie Larson. Smith has had a splendid day here at Western Speedway. They put on a great deal for us yesterday, too, at the sponsored pub there, the Log House Pub. You were only there for a half hour, but you had more fun than anyone. What's that all about?
I did, and I saw the stool with your name actually carved in it, so that tells you how long you spent there.
But you ate most of the food. I couldn't understand that part.
And I didn't have anything to wash it down with because of you, thank you very much.
Well, anyway, we thank Thrifty's Food here for this sponsorship of the 150-lap race here at Canada's oldest paved track. This is a fabulous facility, full house here tonight, and right outside as we look at Darrell Haar's problems here. Here's the points leader, and he has had a tough night here. Anyway, they have the Victoria Motorsports Hall of Fame right adjacent to the racetrack. Just a fabulous area here, and lots of folklore and tradition here at this speedway.
Turner in the 34 car continues to lead, but look at Larson moving right up again on Gary Smith in that battle for second place.
And again, we see the slower car, and this time it's Terry Goyman moving to the high side of the racetrack to let the leaders by. Now have a look at this camera shot, see if we can see it this time here. This also doubles, or we didn't see it this time, we saw it last time around, but this doubles as a 1/8 mile drag strip as well. So we get lots of action here, flea markets and everything. Here's a challenge for a second spot.
Larson trying the inside route. Let's see if he can get by Gary Smith. He's trying to muscle his way past as they come down the front straightaway.
On board with Gary Smith in the Chevrolet. Nice clean pass by Ronnie Larson, and he'll move his Chevrolet up into second spot. Boy, that was pretty slick.
And you can see the sun once again becoming a factor down that back straightaway.
Yes, it's getting late in the evening here in Victoria, and in about another 10-15 laps, that's going to play a big factor here for the drivers. So Smith back to third after starting up on point position, grabbing the pole here for the Thrifty Foods 150. As a rookie, that'll give him $250 from Gates, who sponsored that award.
Well, more body work trying to be done on that 71 car. They did get their lap back, but now they're in the pits again, and it looks like he will go down a lap officially this time.
Yeah, it looks like maybe 2 this time around, 2 feet, as the lead car comes around off of turn number 4, and sure enough, they are going to go down one more lap.
Carl Haar now trying to set his sights on Gary Smith, who started on the pole and has watched 2 cars go past him in the lineup so far.
Well, he could be playing a game too, though. You know, he knows this track. He knows the tire wear. These are 9-inch Goodyear slicks, 450 horsepower. It's a brand new car for him. He's out of the Northwest Tour and NASCAR West. So this is all new to him. He might be just playing a game, just sitting back and waiting for, 15, 20 laps, cool off the tires, and then take a run.
It's a 150-lap race.
Bill Isaac in that Husky Tool sponsored number 76 Intrepid going by there moments ago. One of the regular sportsman drivers of the Sun Valley Motor Speedway. Great looking car. There it is again. And he'll stay to the high side, let the leaders underneath. Again, Tim Wilkie out of Edmonton preparing this car, and Gary Smith jumping in, doing a splendid job. And he has Carl Haar now in the rear view mirror and lots of traffic to deal with. It's all Darren Turner up front, still running low 17-second laps around the 4/10 mile track, which reminds me so much of St. Eustache in Montreal.
And there's the move over flag. Or Goyman gets out of the way.
Yeah, or hold your line. They don't mind if you're going to move down, if you can move down or up, whichever the case may be. In this case, it's up. Or just hold your line. Todd Nichols in car number 6, the Pennzoil sponsored car, and there's a great looking race car right there, Kim Richard of the Calgary in the Pontiac. Great field here at Western Speedway, race number 3 of the 8 race Cascar West Tour. Ooh, little contact there as Darrell Hart came up and routed the 64, Shane Charlton, the Ford Taurus out of Kelowna.
And Shane's right in the thick of this here. This is the battle for 5th place. We got Charlie Curtin trying to take that spot from Kim Richard, but then Charlton staying right with them.
Darrell Hart just trying to work his way back up through the field. Let's go on board here with Father Carl Hart.
He's trying to move up into 3rd place. Can he do it on the inside?
Look at this. He might have him. Turn 1. Oh, he's going to make it stick down here.
No, he can't do it.
Wow, that's door-to-door racing. Still hasn't gotten by him. He'll have to yield way here in turn 3. Little contact right there. He's definitely got the advantage now. Let's see if he can close the deal. Oh, looks like some...
Uh-oh, sideways.
Well, pretty good driving, though. I don't think he was quite clear there.
Obviously not. So Carl Hart is going to have to straighten that out. He'll lose some valuable track time. The yellow flag comes out as that contact between the 3 and 2 car brings out the pace car one more time.
66 laps complete. Here comes Gary Smith down pit road. They're going to go to work. Looks like a right side tire. We'll get a stopwatch on him here as the field regroups. Lead lap car is to the outside.
Now can he beat the pace car down pit road here?
Very quick. 13.89 seconds. How about that?
And listen to the crowd now as the local lad makes it out in front of the pace car. He'll now close up in the back of the field and stay on the lead lap. There's your running order. Darren Turner, the leader. Ron Larson and Kim Richard now up into 3rd.
Great racing.
More right after this.
Introducing the sporty European-inspired 5-door Elantra GT from Hyundai.
Yes, we love to boogie on a Saturday night.
Well, our 3rd caution of the day, and there's the running order. Darren Turner in 1st, Ron Larson 2nd, Kim Richard up into 3rd, Charlie Curtin doing a good job in 4th place, and how about that Shane Charlton up in 5th?
Not bad for a sportsman car, putting together, and there's Gary Smith on board with him. He came in for a new tire, but Shane Charlton, a sportsman car of Vernon, put together a nice winning streak there. Now up in the top 5 as we're ready to go back to green flag racing. 12 still in the lead lap here.
And they're back up to speed as they charge down into 1 and 2.
76 Dale Bizik in the Intrepid down on the bottom side. On board now with Gary Smith trying to get by James Van Domsler in the Ford Saskatchewan car number 14. And Darren Turner powering by the stripe. Boy, he's in a very strong car all race long here in the Thrifty Foods 150.
On board now with Carl Hart as he tries to work his way through. He was up into that battle for 3rd, and he got spun out by the 3 car.
That's lots of traffic. He's right behind 3-time Cascar West champion Wade Lee in the BC Ford Dealers Quality Care Taurus. Look at the traffic in behind the race leaders. Carl Hart still trying to work his way around. There's Shane Charlton on the, oh no, sorry, that's Dale Bizik in the 76 on the outside. And again, he'll give up the bottom side, let the lead cars on through. It's a good crowd here at Western Speedway in Victoria as well. Very well-informed race fans here in Victoria. Let's ride around with Gary Smith for a lap in behind the school Chevrolet of Donnie Sales.
Gary Smith trying to make up some ground. He spun it out.
Look at the
Carl Har,
look at
big battle in front.
And behind too, look at the commotion in the rear view mirror there. That's old James Van Dom's. Whoa, hang on to it. Holy smokes, that's tough going back there. It's McFarland maybe that made that contact, car number 7.
Your leader continues to be Darren Turner in the 34 car, Ron Larson in the 12 car right behind him. And looks like he's closing up a little bit.
Turner might have some problems here with the tires. That looked like a pretty smooth exit off of turn number 4 that time, but a couple of times we've seen the car drift just a little bit as he takes the wide groove. Larson looking to the bottom side. I would have to say right now, Ronnie Larson's got a better handling race car at this stage of the race in car number 12. Let's see if Turner slides up a little bit. No, still sticking pretty good feet, but Larson maybe a little bit better, a little tighter perhaps.
Tim Richard continues in 3rd place and Charlie Curtin in 4th.
Well, still lots of traffic both in front and in the rear view mirror here for Gary Smith. It looks like he's pulling away from those guys and trying to reel in the Ford of Wade Lee now. And Donnie Sales up front of him, and there's Carl Har in the 2 car. Great onboard shot here. Right up tight to the wall too. He knows his way around this track, and look how he diamonds off the corner. Wide entrance, very tight coming off the corner. There's Shane Charlton. Oh, and he gets tapped from Carl Har. He's got the right sponsor, boy, to be the intimidator. GM Goodwrench.
That's a fight for 5th place on the track.
Well, Charlton now pulls a half a car length there on the 3 car. Back up front again. It's still the 34 of Turner. And back in the pack, Charlie Curtin. What a great run he's having here in car number 93.
Charlie's in 4th place. There's the battle for 5th. You're on board with Carl Har trying to take the position away from Shane Charlton.
It looks like the Chevrolet might get him. This is a late model versus sportsman battle right here, and the late models are coming on through the series cars. Donnie Sales will come through that opening as well. Charlton railroaded back a couple of spots. Still Darren Turner in the Western Star Truck Chevrolet took over the lead on lap number 14, challenged here by Larson as the crowd looks on. Coming up on Todd Nickel in the Pennzoil sponsored car. Look at this. Larson will pin the leader behind Nichols, and a lead changes. Larson grabs the point position here in turn 3.
Spins that back end out and charges down to 3 and 4 as the new leader of the race.
Great run as they get by Todd Nickel driving that Pennzoil Rain X Slick 50 Meadow air freshener. And a veteran move there by Larson. A&A Manufacturing bumper-to-bumper Stageco Industries Chevrolet now powers to the lead, our 3rd leader in the race.
And that leaves now only 11 cars on the lead lap as they go by the 6 car.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a veteran move there by Larson. That car was really hooked up well on the bottom side, and he needed it to get by on the low side of the racetrack. So, good handling race car for sure. Ronnie Larson's team doing a super job getting them geared up here for the race.
Larson is the leader. Turner is trying the inside route. In 3rd place is Kim Richard. There's your 4th place car, the Goodwrench car of Carl Har.
I think we have a problem on the racetrack. The 64 of Shane Charlton now will bring out the caution flag. So for the 4th time, the Thrifty Foods 150 is under yellow here at Western Speedway in Victoria.
One-stop service. Auto repair you can trust.
Every time you turn your key, just think of what Blue Streak has gone through to make sure your car starts and stays running.
Blue Streak ignition products. Designed and built tough.
Blue Streak.
Did you know, since 1983, Canadians have trusted their safety to the windshield repair and replacement experts at Apple Auto Glass? Bet you didn't know we accessorize vehicles, too. And accessories, too.
Well, we're 2/3 finished. The Thrifty Foods 150 at Western Speedway in Victoria. Peter Young along with Ron St. Clair. And lead changes so far, Ron.
Well, it was Gary Smith from 1 to 16. Then Darren Turner took over in car number 34. Very impressive from lap 17 right through to 85. And now Ronnie Larson, who assumed the lead with a great move on lap 86, now leading as we approach the 100 lap mark of the Thrifty Foods 150. And we're set to go back to green flag racing here in Victoria.
Ron Larson leads the field into turn 1.
Well, you can see it's twilight time here, and the sun definitely a factor down the back straightaway. Ronnie Larson working the straight now into turn number 3. He has a 71 car, Darrell Haar, right behind him, and he is several laps down right now. So Darren Turner will have to work around him before he gets another shot here at Larson.
Kim Richard of Calgary in the 20 cars in 3rd place, and Carl Haar working his way back up in 4th. You can see him going right up inside the Hooters car.
Yeah, he might try to take that 3rd spot away, and looks like he'll have it here down through turns 3 and 4. He'll get it back onto the front straightaway, and a new 3rd place driver, Carl Haar, has worked from the back to the front again.
And Don Sales in the 33 car also trying to poke his nose in.
Well, he's driving that school-sponsored Chevrolet. It is a Western School shootout event here. And $400 bonus for any driver here that wins today in this school shootout. And they pay down through the top 3 spots in the big season-ending points championship from School Inc. Racing as well.
We also had a quick look at the 3 car of Gary Smith, the pole sitter. He's worked his way back up to 6th position.
Larson bobbled a little bit there, Peter, on the back straightaway last time. He may have made contact with that wall, but he does get by Terry Goyman, running a steady as she goes race out there. And the outside groove is a lapped car. But Larson looking strong. I don't know if he'll get the kind of times that we saw with Darren Turner, who's now closed up again in the leader. Turner running a 17.291 as his best lap time while out front. That could be good enough to get him the $200 cash bonus from NGK Spark Plugs.
Turner in 2nd place, chasing Larson, who grew up in this area. He used to watch his dad race at this track.
That's right, yeah, his dad had some success here. Ronnie had some success earlier today as well. He won a heat race. So he's at a very strong program. He won in Saskatoon, as we mentioned. If he wins here, he'll grab 4 bonus points for leading a bunch of laps and everything. He might get back into the Cascar West Championship points hunt. He missed that race in Vernon earlier with problems, but he might be able to close the gap, stringing together some victories.
Look at Turner poke his nose into the inside. Not enough to get by.
Oh, I thought Turner earlier had tires maybe going away, but that car is definitely hooked up pretty good here in the late stages of the Thrifty Foods 150. He's able to use the bottom side of the racetrack and very effectively. James McFarland has looped the Ford Taurus around, and this will necessitate a caution flag here. Under 3 laps complete, he'll get back going the right direction, but the field is woed up here on lap 103.
And they will bring the pace car out momentarily, although he was able to right that car very quickly. The yellow flag does come out. Now there's some action in the pit.
Yeah, that's an all-family deal. The wives and everything in there with Terry Goyman. X marks the spot here for James McFarland. So he gets the Coldwell Banker team back out onto the track again. Boys, some great races still to come in the summer of 2001 for Cascar West in Winnipeg.
Big Motorfest Manitoba, August long weekend, 4 days of racing.
Back to Saskatoon again, August the 18th. Then some of the drivers will participate in the Vancouver Molson Indy. Speaking of Molson, looks like they're having a good time up there, I think. Back to green, Ronnie Larson. And again, the 71 car as a lap car will play a factor here between 1st and 2nd place.
Let's see if that helps out Ron Larson as he gets a little bit bigger jump on Darren Turner this time around.
Lots of horsepower there for Larson, upwards to 450. You can see him spitting out chunks of rubber and everything. Look at the line.
Front straightaway coming out of 4. Charlie Curtin must have got tagged from behind because he looped that 93 car.
Poor old Charlie. It happens once a race, but we're under caution here on lap 110. Back to Victoria with the Thrifty Foods 150. With more in just a moment.
Did you know a cracked or broken windshield compromises your vehicle's structure and the effectiveness of your airbag? Not to mention your family's safety. Just one more reason to bring it to the experts.
The smooth ride of a luxury car. The seating capacity of a minivan. Capabilities of an SUV. All in one totally innovative package. Introducing the all-new 2002 Buick Rendezvous.
What? You were expecting Igor?
Buick Rendezvous. It's all good.
Looking for speed? We've got speed. Witness the excitement of North America's most watched spectator sport, NASCAR racing. And after the race, stay tuned for Sports Central. Catch exclusive coverage of the Kroger 200, Saturday at 5.
Rogers Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet Pacific. Cal Ripken and the Orioles are heading to Toronto to take on Carlos Delgado and the Jays. Orioles Jays, Friday at 4 on Sportsnet Pacific.
Only 35 laps to go. The pace car pulls off, and we're ready to go green flag racing one more time at the Western Speedway in Victoria, British Columbia.
Kind of like a regular Saturday night shootout here for these guys. 35 laps. That's what they kind of grew up on. Ron Larson, the race leader. Darren Turner still running in second as we get another onboard look here with Gary Smith, who started on the pole. Trying to work his way.
Trying to get past the 2 car of Carl Har.
They'll have to work that 7 car of McFarlane as well. He is a lap car down on the bottom. 11 cars still remain here on the lead lap. Oh, we got a problem. Oh, boy. Great piece of driving there. Look at this. There's bumpers and fenders and exhaust pipes and everything. All kinds of debris on the speedway.
Oh, look at Charlie Curtin's car. Air-conditioned special.
He's missing half the skin on the right side. These are all fiberglass cars, of course. And look at this. We got a flattened beer can out there. Somebody drove over there.
Darren Turner took the brunt of that one. He got knocked out of the top 5 in that little exchange.
Wow, look at this. So Ronnie Larson looking strong as you get a look at the running order 1 through 6 here. Look at Richard still running 4th, having a great race there here tonight.
Sales and Wade Lee up in the top 6 now.
All right, so the lead lap cars will get the top side of the racetrack. They don't want to get up there too far. As you see, marbles all up there. You've got nuts and bolts and pieces of debris and all kinds of little pebbles and things that can catch your tire in a hurry there.
You got to feel bad for Darren Turner. He was a top 2 or 3 car in this event. He gets knocked back to the back of the pack.
All right, so the lap cars down to the bottom. Looks like maybe 10 now remain on the lead lap as we get set to go back up to speed here. Ronnie Larson will shoot on by the intrepid of Dale Bizek. There's the battle for second, the GM Goodrich Chevrolet of Carl Har, and the number 3 machine of Gary Smith. Larson looking very strong here, though, Peter. That car just goes wherever he wants to place it, and he has loads of horsepower here tonight in that number 12 machine. That car is perfectly set up.
Carl Haar not going away, though. Let's see if he can catch up. There's no lap traffic to worry about now for about 3 or 4 laps.
Look at the rubber out there on the top side of the racetrack. Get a better look at it here. This is through about 115 laps or so far. Not much straightaway for the drivers, really, on the 4/10 mile track. They're out here and straight for just a fraction of a second, and Larson brings it right back down into the corner again. Same here on the front straightaway. We'll watch. Straight, and then dives back in again. Like I said, though, these drivers cut their stock car teeth on tracks very similar to this all across Western Canada. Carl Haar now has cleared traffic, and looks like Kerry Goyman, the 83 car out on the top side of the racetrack, will be the next driver. Larson blows by him without too much of a problem, and Carl Haar will get under him as well. He'll try to close the gap here and get up there and challenge Believe it. That's quite a gap. Get the interval here between first and second this time by. Big gap. Just over a second separating those two right now.
And another second back is Gary Smith in the 3 car, the pole sitter.
Then the 33, Donnie Sales. We're going to look at him coming off of turn 2 with Wade Lee right there.
They're battling now for 5th position.
Little contact coming off of turn number 4. We'll have to get around that 71 car of Daryl Haar. He was the points leader coming into the race here, but he's going to lose a lot of ground here to his father, Carl, if Carl can hang on to second or even move up into the lead.
That's actually the battle for 4th place. I stand corrected. They both got by Kim Richard.
Yeah, Richard has drifted a little bit here, Peter. Earlier he was running up in 4th, now posted in the 7th position.
And that means Darren Turner right ahead of him has moved all the way back up to 6th.
Look at a great run going here. Dying stages of the Thrifty Foods 150. The battle up front belongs to Ronnie Larson. Shane Charlton here, car number 64, still having a good run. Tire smoke there for Darren Turner in car 34. Boy, he's had a lot of problems here in the last 20, 30 laps or so. It's only tire smoke, though, so I don't think you'll see a black flag off the starter stand. Hope not for his sake. He's had a terrific run. Led nearly 70 laps in the Thrifty Foods 150.
There's the front of the field. Ron Larson in the number 12 car, and it looks like the good wrench car of Carl Haar is catching up a little bit.
Yeah, and right out front of the race leader is Todd Nickel again, car number 6. Now, he played a factor in that earlier lead change. He might play a factor here as well. Larson drives right up on the rear deck of the Chevrolet. Has to check up a little bit, try to find a way around. And look at this, Carl Haar has closed the gap as a result.
Down to the last 20 laps.
Ronnie Larson, though, with so much power. Look at that, Peter. Once he cleared the car, he just kind of pulled away again. He has the power, he has the handling here tonight. He's going to be awfully tough here in the dying stages of this one. Trying to make it 2 in a row. Now, we lost a lot of points earlier this year in Vernon when the car was unable to make the feature race in the season opener. And so with a victory in Saskatoon and a possible victory here, he might be able to get back into the Cascar West points hunt.
We'll be back to wrap up the final 2 laps right after this. Cascar Racing comes to Manitoba for the first time ever. Join the fun at Motorfest Manitoba, a 4-day racing extravaganza, August 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 2001. It's the boys of Cascar West on a 1-mile temporary road course through Red River Exhibition Park. Motorfest Manitoba, this August long weekend. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.
Every time you turn your key, just think of what Blue Streak has gone through to make sure your car starts and stays running.
Blue Streak ignition products. Designed and built tough.
Blue Streak.
Ron St. Clair, Peter Young, 30th Annual Canada Day 200 here in Victoria, and this is the Cascar West Thrifty Food 150. There's a battle for 5th and 6th and 7th position right there. Darren Turner, who led early, Peter, having some problems with that car right now, but still running well.
And Shane Charlton right on his behind, and behind them, Kim Richard in the 20 car who had a great run today as well.
James Van Domsler, car number 14. Caution flag in the Speedway. We got a problem here. Could be some debris out on the racetrack, and so the caution flag slowing the festivities here. Shane Charlton driving underneath the 34 car. There's the problem. 7 car James McFarland up in the rhubarb there by the Thrifty Foods hauler. Now that's quite a ways back. Looks like it might be the dangerous spot there, so we get a look at the running order, but he's 100 yards back there.
Well, it'll be a battle now down the last few laps to see if Carl Haar has enough car, or Gary Smith, who was the pole sitter, to track down Ron Larson, who's leading it.
Well, Gary Smith, as we alluded to earlier, Peter, could be the wily veteran here because he started on the pole position. He's already had 1 tire change, so you know he has a fresh sneaker on there versus the other 2 cars. But Ronnie Larson's been awfully tough on restarts, and the car is good in the corners and lots of power on the straightaway. So it's his to win or lose right now.
If the pace car pulls off the track this time around.
Wade Lee in 5th there in the BC Ford Dealers Taurus. And lighting becoming a factor right now as we get past twilight here.
And Turner into the pits again, so he is having more problems with that 34 car that was so strong early in the race.
Probably just trying to get some of that fiberglass down so he can see where the heck he's going out there. He got smushed up there earlier. He's okay now as he returns to the field. Already, so a couple of laps here before we get back to green here in the Thrifty Foods 150. And Ronnie Larson looking to make it 2 in a row. Now here's Darren Turner. He's coming in again on pit road in the Western Star Trucks, Power 104 True Trim Chevrolet. So I think they're just trying to tweak that car, not necessarily chassis-wise, but just so he can see where he's going with that fiberglass problem.
1 more lap, they say, and that gives us a chance to once again recap what's happened so far. Early on, Gary Smith from the pole was the leader. Then Darren Turner came in next, and finally Ron Larson got past him, and nobody has led since.
Yeah, Larson took over on lap number 86. Starter Don Hines looking over the field now. Lap cars to the bottom, and looks like he likes it. We're back up to green here. 5 to go. It'll be a shootout to decide the Thrifty Foods 150.
And look at the jump that Larson gets on Carl Haar.
Man, that car is strong here tonight. I don't think Carl Haar has anything for him at this stage. He hasn't shown it yet. He's been up there on the bumper a couple of times. He's had good runs, but Larson just has way too much power and a well-handling car here tonight.
And he's not likely to have lap traffic to help him out in this last couple of laps either.
No, that shouldn't be a factor. He's just, right now, though, he can hear everything. Every little bump, every little nut and bolt hitting underneath the car, all that stuff.
Well, Ron, in your long Cascar career, you've seen that number 2 car, Carl Haar, have the answer late in many a race.
Well, he's always set up for the late going, and the St. Albert driver has all the Alberta GM dealers looking on now as they work with about 3 to go here. Can he do it? Ronnie Larson's been very strong in the Chevrolet all night long. I don't think he's going to give up the spot. Catching him is one thing. Getting by this late in the race, Peter's a whole different story.
About a 3-car length lead now for Larson, and another 3 between the good wrench car of Haar and the number 3 car of Gary Smith.
Larson did slow a little bit off at turn number 4. There's the white flag, so 1 to go. It's his to win or lose here in the final lap. A nice smooth exit off at turn number 2 into 3 for the final time.
And a fire in the pit lane as Shane Charlton's car is showing some smoke. Here comes Larson through that smoke and the dust, and let's see, it will be Ron Larson with the victory.
2 in a row for Larson, Saskatoon and Victoria, and then the GM Goodwrench team of Carl Haar, and bringing it home for 3rd was local favorite out of Victoria, Gary Smith in car number 3. Boy, a great run right there. Checking out 4th, Donnie Sales in the Skoll Chevrolet. 5th will go to Wade Lee in the Ford. So a great run here for Ronnie Larson, where his dad taught him how to drive.
And a popular victory on what he might call one of his home tracks, I suppose. And it looks like he might have a little show for us.
Oh, right to the drag strip burnout area. Rather appropriate. There's the race result here for the Thrifty Foods 150. We'll be back with Ronnie Larson in the winner's circle from Victoria in just a moment.
Experience the casinos of Winnipeg. Relive the opulent splendor of the past at McPhillip Street Station. Reveal the mystery of a lost civilization at Club Regent. Both feature the latest in casino entertainment, making the casinos of Winnipeg an ideal destination. New restaurants deliver a unique dining experience in one of the most exotically themed restaurant settings anywhere. From history to mystery, the casinos of Winnipeg will make your visit unforgettable.
Quesnel's Ronnie Larson owns Victoria on this night. Carl Haar second, Smith third. Donnie Sales brings the Skoll team home for fourth. All Chevrolets in the top 4 spots. Top Ford is Wade Lee in fifth. Great run out front. Let's go down to the winner's circle with Peter Young.
Unbelievable finish. Great celebration. Obviously, this one meant a lot to you.
I thank the boys at Stepco Industries and A&A Manufacturing and Bumper to Bumper and Paul's Motor Inn for helping us out with rooms here. These guys did an awesome job.
Must feel great. You know this is the track your dad did so well at, man. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, this one's for him and for Burns' nephew. Hopefully they're all getting better, and his son that were in the hospital here in the last 3 weeks.
So an emotional victory there for Ron Larson with family issues and all. The team's all in the front straightaway. Peter Young is standing by with our second place finisher.
We had a battle up from the back of the pack twice, got tapped there by the 3 car, but I'll tell you, the Alberta GM, Good Wrench Dealers, Monte Carlo, it just was consistent the whole race. You know, it just kept getting faster and faster and faster as the race went on. That's the way we set it up. That's what we hoped for.
And something a little different, a Cascar autograph session after the race, and the busiest spot, no doubt, Peter, will be the number 3 team.
Obviously third better than at the back where you found yourself at one point during this race.
Yeah, that's right. Our car just wouldn't quite cut in the middle like I liked it, and we made a pit stop there, I guess 50 laps or 60 laps in, and it definitely helped the car, but I burned the tires off coming up through the pack. You know, we passed a lot of race cars and burned the tires off, had nothing for them left, and I think the motor was missing there quite a bit near the end, but like I say, the Tom Harris Chevrolet Craftsman Collision, man, it was kind of exciting there. First Cascar race to finish third, I'm excited.
And it was a Western Skoll shootout event. There's the top 3 right there. The points leader after the event, though, is still Daryl Haar.
Oh boy, you know, it went all night. We qualified third, a great run. I mean, we had a good car at the beginning of the race, and we were running in second there for about the first 10 laps. And on the first caution, Smith checked up, and we ended up in his bumper, and that's where it all started. We had to come into the pits, take off the hood, and then we went out again, and we were lapped down, so we were at the back of the field. And this kind of stuff happens when you're at the back of the field. You're trying to work your way back to the front, and everybody's trying to get up there, and it just gets a little tight.
Daryl Haar and all the stars of Cascar West will be in Winnipeg for the August long weekend. Motorfest Manitoba, a 1.2-mile street course.